Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Hey everybody, so in this video we are going to do a top 10 list of our favorite Habs that weren't stars. So we each have our own list. We're going to compare them and talk about it. And hopefully you guys will find that interesting. So along for the ride, we have our American friend, the young kid, Matt. And next to Matt, now she's going to be underneath somebody, is Delaney. And in this corner,
Yes.
I'm not going to say how much he weighs because it's just not fair. It's Pete. Pete, you're in my spot, so I'm going to switch spots with Pete. All right. So what we're going to do here today is, we're going to give our list of our favorite players. I guess over the years, and we're going to do it's a top 10 list. Although I think Matt only has 9, so Matt is not going to be involved for the first round.
Couldn't just throw one name up there.
Yeah, he just couldn't. I mean, he's from the States. What he
Good point.
Only 23. I haven't seen that much.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna start with each person's. Oh, you know what? Got to fix this up because we had this. We're gonna confuse ourselves. There we go. So we're gonna start. Delaney's gonna give his. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna work through, and we're gonna go through the rounds like that, and hopefully, gonna be interesting. Right. So everybody got their list ready?
All ready to go. We're going with first, non-stars.
Yeah. No, the other one it's different. There's a totally different video. I know, you're on one end of the country, but Pete on the other end of the country, he's down with what's happening here. So you got
I'm not even in the same country, and I'm down with what's happening.
Yeah, no, the other that's for another video, just alike. And you're leading off, so I hope you get it right.
Coming in at number 10 on my list of random non-stars, Guillaume Lotendresse. Big,
really?
Solid forward. Yeah, I always liked the kid.
I considered
I was
him.
sad when he was gone.
I considered him, I have to admit, and I quickly did not add him to my list. But no, I did consider him, but
I really found he reminded me of another player that used to play with him, Komisarek. We loved him, and then it was like, oh, okay, it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, who's your number 10, Matt?
Wait, whoa. We got to talk about it. With Guillaume, though, I don't blame him per se because they ruined him by rushing this kid. This kid could have been maybe a decent to good NHL player, but they totally ruined him by rushing him. They were desperate for a French kid to be a star, and they ruined him. Totally.
I think if they had taken their time with him, they could have created a John LeClair-like player. Not a John LeClair, but John LeClair-like.
Give him 2 years in the AHL, before they rushed him up. I don't think he was ready. And
no, but he was a
tools.
big French kid, and they needed They did not have many Frenchmen at the time, so I really believe that he was pushed to the forefront to be a presence.
Oh, without a doubt. There's no doubt that they did that. He had some tools, but he just, he didn't get time to develop.
The unfortunate flip side, guys, to that, though, is that Montreal, with a couple of the players that didn't make this list, like Max Lapierre and stuff, there's a lot of players that they leave in the minors, and they just get stale, for lack of better, because they don't get that shot. And
how many games did Latendresse play in the minors? I don't think too many.
He pretty much started right away.
I was going to say, I don't think he played too many. If he played any at all, I don't know that he played in the minors. They just
he did not.
I remember having this conversation that Latendresse came up again when with the KK situation with rushing him in a year earlier than maybe this would have.
True.
But that was the way Montreal did it. They either rushed him really, really quick with Lapierre and Latendresse, or they bury him in the minors and they become stale like McCarron and countless others over the last few years.
Yeah, but I mean but a guy like McCarron, it's more of a you can blame the development, the coaching. They didn't develop anybody.
No, especially in the minors. Like I remember watching that McCarron. Don't mean to go off topic here, but I watched McCarron a bunch of times down here when we had the baby Habs, and like he looked great. Like he was good. Like, and we couldn't figure out how come he couldn't stay in that lineup.
But even that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes guys look great down there, and it doesn't translate. But I mean, development. Montreal didn't develop anybody for 5 years at all. Okay, Matt, you're up. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, I don't. I had a.
He doesn't have a number 10.
I don't have a 10.
Pete, you're up.
Oh, Zarly Zalapski.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just love the name.
Yeah.
Love the name.
Also, former Whaler as well.
That's true.
Yep.
He was a Whaler. Yeah.
He was.
So,
but that guy, when he wanted to play, man, that guy could play great. But
am I right? He was a Montrealer. Am I right?
Yeah.
For some reason, I think he was from here.
I believe he was from Montreal.
Yeah, I think he was a Montrealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him.
Frenchman. He was a French kid.
I remember him. I just, for me, neither good nor bad. Just for me.
Just average.
But that's what
for me.
about.
That's for me. That's how it was.
But just because they weren't superstars doesn't mean that you don't love them any less.
No, I don't have any particular, I mean, I remember him. Nothing stands out too much for me about him that way. That's all.
He was a good skater. He was a really good skater. Yeah. He had a great slap shot. But actually, he's not a Montreal boy. He's an Edmonton, Alberta.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought he was.
I always thought he was a French kid. So he's older than I am by years, but hey.
Yeah, no, me too. I thought he was a local. Okay, for mine, this is a guy. So Pete, you're gonna find out now who it is. I doubt. Maybe Delaney knows who he is. Matt, you don't know who he is. I guarantee. And that is the guy that was traded to Detroit so that Montreal could acquire. Is it Detroit? Yeah, we got Mahovlich from Detroit. I don't remember. Why do I think from the Leafs?
I thought it was from the Leafs.
I thought it was Detroit as well, but
no, I think it was Detroit because I know that's where this guy went, and I know we traded this guy to get Frank Mahovlich, and that is Vicky Redmon. You guys remember Vicky Redmon?
That's right.
Vicky Redmon.
Am I right? And he was traded for Mahovlich. It had to have been. We got Mahovlich from Detroit. Isn't that weird? I never thought of that. I always thought it was from the Leafs.
Must have been. Redmond turned out to be nothing too. He was just a
Redmond. No, Redmond was a very promising young player at the time when he was traded, and like we were all shocked when Vicky Redmon got traded. But I mean, for Mahovlich, okay, so you can understand. But he was a really promising young player. He went on to have a pretty good career with Detroit, I think. But I mean, he wasn't a star.
No.
But I don't know if that's just because he wasn't playing for Montreal. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Vicky Redmon. He was just a really up and coming young kid, and yeah, I liked him, and I was really shocked. Even I had to have only been about 9 when he was traded. So yeah, so one of my early ones. There you go.
Nice.
Next up.
Well, number 9, number 9, numero 9, David Desharnais.
David Desharnais, double D.
I got him on my list
nice
too, not
pick.
in that position, but he is on my list.
That's cool.
He was just one of those guys. I just like a Shane Corson. I just felt like he had an all around two way type of player. Hot and cold.
A guy with 4 inches on him would have been a really good hockey player. Like he was good. I mean, he would have been a really good hockey player if this kid had 4 inches on him. I'll give you that.
I have to say 9 and 10 with Maximum Laperriere and Kyle Chipchera, they were the ones that were battling in and out, and which one I liked the most, which really made making this list a lot of fun.
Okay. I'm
I get
curious. I mean, that's to me, I don't know, a little underwhelming choices, but I mean, you guys grew up in a different era than me, so.
But not just that though. It's like I didn't like not being using the Saku Koivus and the Waz and the Cornways and Richards and stuff. Your Bobby Smith, your Mullers, your stars of your team. You're looking at like a lot of the players that you just for some reason liked.
Yeah,
and
that's what it was no criticism on your choices. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I know. It's just like Vicky Redmon or Zarli Zalapski. It's like there was just something about this guy when he was on that team that were like, I like this guy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what this is, an exercise.
And that's why I was really excited to hear this list, because my favorite baseball player of all time is Ron Oester, right? Like, there's probably like 6 of us, literally, in North America, and the other 5 live in Cincinnati.
Okay, Matt, you're up next.
So,
welcome to the game.
So obviously mine are going to be a lot different than those 3 because I'm a lot younger. So mine kind of have to do with, I guess, the last, I'd probably say from about just after the lockout season till now.
You don't have to qualify.
So my number 9 is Richard Zednick.
I thought of Richard Zednick. I thought of him.
Yeah, I mean, he put up points. He drove my dad absolutely nuts because my dad was a Bruins fan. So he screamed his name a lot. Really glad he's okay. Obviously, we all know he was almost no longer with us.
Zednick was the clothesline from.
He got his throat cut with a skate.
Oh yeah, he was the skate, right?
Yeah, Richard Zednick. For me, number 9. Scored a lot of points. Like I said, drove my dad nuts, so that was fun to watch.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is. You guys will probably consider him a star, but I didn't. Stefan Richer.
Yeah, I would have to say, probably Richer's a star. Although,
he didn't do much.
A star. That's okay. No, Richer was a great player. I'm nothing wrong with liking him. I liked him too. Just it's okay. Just to qualify, Pete kind of got it wrong for the list, and he had to adjust to get the stars off of his list. So we're giving him a break on that. Yeah, no, Richer was great. You know what I was surprised with Richer? When he went to the Devils, you see his numbers? His numbers just weren't there, even though they won a couple of cups.
So you know what? Overall, career-wise, he wasn't really a star. So it's accepted. Because if my number 1 was cleared to be accepted, then...
Thank you, Delaney.
First of all, I said it was fine, but I disagree with you that he wasn't really. I think he was. I think even with those weird numbers, because they won the cup, they won a couple of cups there in New Jersey. I think he was still considered a star. I really do.
Do you really? Because he was so one-dimensional.
I know.
Down the wing, slap shot, score.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, that's fine. Maybe it's just me that's considering. That's fine. No, Richer was great. I liked Richer, and
I'll tell you something. That guy can high five like nobody.
What do you mean? Well, you high fived him?
When I was a little kid, I got to see him outside the Westin in Vancouver, and he was high fiving with. Oh my God, who was it? I don't remember who he was high fiving with. I want to say it was Carbonneau, but I'm not sure. But I was just like. Because I swear to God, he jumped like 5 feet up in the air, the two of them, and they were like, bang, high-fiving each other. They were so happy because they beat Vancouver.
I thought he high-fived you like that.
No, I wish. I was just standing there. A little kid.
Yeah, okay, cool. Richer, I have no particular... The only thing I found funny with him when he scored his 50 goals, he did it twice here at Montreal, and it was only in the odd years. I think it was odd years. He had a year. I think he had like 25 goals, 50 goals, 25 goals. No, it was 50 goals, 20. Something like that. It was just weird how he did it, and then he never scored 50 again after that.
No, he was very up and down.
Well, with Jersey, I think 14 goals was like the big year for him in Jersey. It's weird
Did
how
you even get that many? Okay.
Yeah, if that. But I mean, considering Jersey was basically a trap.
Jersey was a very defensive team back
Very
then.
defensive,
as well.
yes. All right, my number 9, I happen to know for a fact, is on Delaney's hated list. And he was involved in the trade for Patrick Roy. And that's Marty Rozinski. I actually like Marty Rozinski. I thought he was pretty decent, and he led the team in scoring one year. But I thought when Damphousse was here, he had some chemistry with Damphousse that first year.
No. Remember, he missed the cut. It killed me not to put him on my top 10. That's how much I dislike the other 10 guys.
Yeah, but it was on your hated list.
Yep, he almost made the cut.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I know you had him.
Now I consider Ruchinski similar to Stefan Ruchet. Star power.
I'm okay with Ruchet. I don't care what Mr. Director says down here.
Considering, listen, Richer scored 50 goals twice, so I think that his star power was much bigger than Rozinski. Rozinski
don't you think Rozinski was? Don't you think he was much more consistent?
But he had no star power. He wasn't a star.
Okay. Thanks to you, he. In my mind, he was actually. I liked him. I would have had him higher on my list.
I liked him, but I wouldn't say he was a star though. But I liked him. And he played with a star in Damphousse.
Yeah. So
Damphousse was traded, but
you tell you what,
you
can take out Richer and put in Rozinski, and then
no, Richer's fine. Stop it. It's fine.
Move on.
But I don't equate.
We're moving on.
Yeah, moving on to number 8 for Delaney.
Numero 8.
Numero 8.
One of my top 3 trades, acquisitions, or signings in Montreal history, Roman Hamrlik. When he got drafted from Tampa Bay, I was like, I like this kid. And I liked him since Tampa, and I was really happy that Montreal got him.
What's wrong with Hamrlik? Hamrlik was good when he was here.
Solid
I have no complaints.
Pete. Solid defenseman.
Yeah, he was. And he could put up some points.
Drop the hammer. Hamrlik.
Yeah. Now, he was okay. What didn't you like about him, Pete?
I just didn't like him. We'll leave it at that.
That's okay.
I didn't think he was a very solid defenseman. I think there's other defensemen that were much better than he would.
I'm starting to question you as a human being, Pete.
Why? He's allowed.
I'm half robot. Remember, I got a lot of metal in me.
I'm really glad he was on the team in 2010 when I got to see him play.
Yeah, I like Hamrlik. Matt, who's your number 8?
Number 8 for me is Michael Ryder.
Didn't make my list.
Mr. Nupi over there, Ryder didn't make his list. He made Matt's.
Yeah, I
think the Boston because he played in Boston, right?
Well, so several reasons for with Zednick. My dad absolutely hated him when he played for the Canadiens because he would drive my dad nuts. And then when he came to Boston, my dad didn't hate him. But I mean, and obviously when he was in Boston, I got to see him play in person. And I just loved his game. So yeah, Michael Ryder.
He used to frustrate me a lot, Ryder. Like I always expected more from him for some reason. He was one of those guys that he had the talent. You thought he should have done more. That's how I always felt about Ryder.
Yeah, he did have a few very, very good seasons. Though.
It's not to complain.
It's like he didn't push himself hard enough.
There was just something that you always felt he should have given more. He was one of those guys that just you always felt that for some reason.
He was just always a little bit short.
Compared to the last Newfoundlander that Montreal took in Terry Ryan,
oh God,
he worked out a heck of a lot better.
Yeah,
so
Ryan
at least he got saved some face for Newfoundland Montreal Canadian players.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, he was still a good hockey player. I'm not saying no.
Oh yeah, no.
It always seemed like you wanted, like, I don't know, something. You just wanted more from him for some reason. I don't know. That's the only thing I can say. Pete, who's your number 8?
Stefan Kintel.
Stefan
Love him.
Kintel.
Now, I found him to be a good, nasty defenseman. He had a
He was
nasty
okay.
streak to him.
I'm surprised you still like him, though, after being ahead of the player safety. He was the last head of the player safety, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I'm going
He
to
also did a shitty job there.
Hey, Pete. I'm going to
He's
be
like
honest.
Roman Hammerlick, right?
He made another list of mine. I won't say what number, but he made another list.
No, I thought Kintel was okay. I mean, he wasn't
He wasn't a
like
star.
a great player, but he was okay.
No,
I'm not
good.
even talking about
him.
These were guys that I had to pick within the last 15 minutes just before the show, right? So
No,
I had to
there's nothing
redo
wrong
my list.
There's nothing wrong with Kintel. Come on. All right. My number 8. I have a feeling he's going to be on Delaney's list. My number 8 is Pierre Mondu.
Oh,
Great third-line center from my day. Unfortunately, had a stick in the eye. Didn't cost him his eye, but cost him his
I
career.
thought it did.
It didn't cost him his eye, but it cost him his career.
Oh,
As far as I know, I don't think
Probably
he lost
cost
his
him
eye.
vision.
It cost him the vision. Yeah, but I'm saying he didn't lose the eye.
Right, like he kept the eyeball, but he just couldn't see.
Well, yeah. So, but Mondu was a
I got
really solid.
He was
third-
a heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, he could put up 30 goals, and like he was really solid. I like Mondu. You know what? I also always loved his name. I like the name Mondu. I always liked his name.
I loved his games against
Dude, that
against
is
Quebec.
literally why I liked him as a kid and why he may or may not have made this list.
Mondu, when he played against Quebec, man, he stepped it up he put it to another level whenever he played against Quebec.
He was
fun to watch.
He was really good. He was a good player, and yeah, I really liked Mondu.
Nice.
All right.
I like that one.
Delaney, number 7.
Number 7, Yaroslav Spacek.
Spot check.
I thought about him, but I didn't go with him.
I
him too.
liked him when he was in Philly. I just always liked that kid. He impressed me in World Juniors. He wasn't drafted by us, and then when we picked him up in trade, finally, I used to always say to my cousin, I was like, we need someone like a Yaroslav Spacek, and then we had Spacek and Hammerlack. I loved it, man. That was solid defense.
When they traded him, I think they regretted. I think they regretted trading him a little bit. I think I remember when he was traded, and it was a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? The D wasn't as good. Like we missed him that first season after they moved him.
Absolutely.
He didn't come in with Gianta and all of those guys like that. That when that group came in, right? Am I right? When Gianta and all that group came, Gomez and all that. That was one of the worst times for me as a Habs fan because I felt like I don't know this team. I don't know these players. They don't feel right. But Spacek I liked. Actually, I did. I liked Spacek, and I thought they missed him when they moved him.
Was Spacek on the Russian locomotive plane that went down? No, that was Ruslan.
Yeah.
Who?
Ruslan Saleh. I used to really like him too, and I knew someone I really liked went down on that plane.
Yeah. No, but it wasn't Spacek. No, and if I'm correct, he had a face that reminded me of someone, a character in a video game at the time. If I'm correct, can't remember what he looks like. But yeah, Spacek, I liked him, and I thought did he not have a bit of a weird start when he got here? He had a bit of a struggly start when he became a Hab, and then he got his legs under him. Am I right?
Yep.
He kind of struggled, and then he became a good. Like the second season, he became really good, and I think when they moved him, they really missed him. That's what I remember, but I'm not sure if it's because I was so disoriented with this new team. There was like 6 new players, and it just was so different. New captain, and I don't know if that's the reason why I think that. All right, Matt, who's your number 7?
My number 7, I went with Lars Eller.
Oh yeah.
I considered Eller actually. I was considering him.
I went with him because I loved his playmaking ability. I loved his two-way play. And I was a little sad when he left. I'm happy he was able to get the cup with the Caps, but you know, and I still root for the guy a little bit. You know, I've always liked him. I always liked his game.
Yep.
I thought he would have been better. That's the only knock on Eller for me was I thought he would be able to have a little more offense to his game. But you know what? When he was traded here, the fans that were like positive about it, we all expected a little more. But the ones that were a little on the negative side or were more like realistic about it, kind of said what he was going to be, and he turned out to be that. But he was a really good. I thought he was a really good third line center. Very, like a really good one.
I'm biased. I've always liked, outside of Freddie Anderson, maybe because he's a Leaf, I've always been a fan of the Denmark guys. Like, I watch a lot of international hockey, so I haven't, like, I'd heard of Anze Kopitar when he was like a 16-year-old with Slovenia, and I was like, Slovenia, I've seen him rise up the ranks in the IHF, and I was like, they're eventually going to play Canada. So, they did. But, yeah, no, that's a solid choice. I really like Lars Eller.
Lars, I'm wondering now, guys, do you think Matt's being this quiet because of my pre-video direction, or because he's like awfully quiet?
No, well,
you don't have to be so quiet, man.
No, I don't.
Okay, next up, Pete, you're number 7.
Sergio Momesto.
Yeah, I considered
Momesto. I considered him too.
I loved his temper.
Yeah, he's your kind of player. I can see him being your kind of player. Yeah, definitely. Have you ever had a Momesto sub?
Pardon me?
Have you ever had a Momesto sub?
No. What is a Momesto sub?
Well, his father owns a restaurant. Owned a restaurant for a long, long time. It's a very popular place here in Montreal. And right now, Momesto actually they opened another one up on Côte de l'Ouest, and he's running that one. Yeah, a really great submarine. Just a really great sausage submarine sandwich.
I just recently heard him on some talk show that was going on the web. Thank you, honey. And yeah, he still has the fire in him. That's for sure. He during the playoffs there.
I gotta say, Momesto was. I went with there was the top 3. Were pretty solid for me. But after from 3 down, there was just I just came up with 20 names, and I had to start whittling it down. And it was pretty fun. But if the guy I picked at second is considered a star, I will add somebody who just fell in behind Desharnais when I had to take out Muller, or not Latendresse. Sorry.
Okay, getting ahead of ourselves there. Does that make me next? That makes me next.
Yes, sir.
My number 7 is goalie. I'm not sure what era. I think the early 2000s or mid. Anyway, Jeff Hackett.
Nice.
I really like Jeff Hackett. There was just something about him. Like, he seemed like a really nice guy, genuinely, and he was a pretty good goalie. Like, he wasn't the best, but he was a pretty good goalie. I just liked him.
Rick, Jeff Hackett had the unfortunate luck of playing in the New York Islanders when they were horrible. It was I think it was Hackett and Fitzpatrick for a while.
He was always on bad teams till he came here.
And then, but Rick, that's the thing. When he was in Montreal for the bad years, there's a lot of they didn't have a good team ahead of Jeff Hackett.
They didn't have a good defense in front of him.
No, and
their offense wasn't that great either.
He put up some pretty decent numbers, and he was just
on a shitty team.
Yeah, I liked Hackett always. I always.
Absolutely.
Not before Montreal, but once he came in, yeah, I liked him.
When San Jose, right? Because he played with the Islanders, and then he was taken by San Jose.
Sharks, that's right. He was I think he was an original Shark.
Yep, it was Jeff Hackett, Brian Hayward, and
right. And
Skrudland
went to Florida. So because Florida and San Jose came in at the same time, right?
Actually, Jeff Hackett came in to solve the problem that was Yaroslav Yaroslav Milas. He was a Finnish guy. He was the original backup in San Jose behind Hayward.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking here. Hackett
Jaromir
came
Milas,
in.
that's his name.
Who did Hackett replace here as far as the Nets? I don't remember.
Andy Moog?
Oh, that could be. It could be the It's who
Was
could
it
be who
Moog?
brought him in. It could be. No, Moog was earlier than that.
Yeah. Mogus.
Anyway,
What?
we're getting off topic. We're getting a little too far off. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Jeff
Hackett's my
Hackett,
number 7.
solid choice.
Yeah, no, he's
Solid
good. I
choice.
always love Hackett. So who's your number 6?
Great segue from Jeff Hackett. Matt, you definitely never heard of this guy, and I bet the bottom guys have heard of him, but haven't thought of him in years. Dennis Herron.
Oh, he's on my list.
Freaking A.
He's on my
I
list.
love
He's
this
coming up.
mask.
I like Denny Herron. Did you know if you the series Cheers, right? We all know Cheers. Okay.
Yep.
Carla had a boyfriend. He was a hockey player, played for the Bruins. That's based on, I believe, Denny Herron. It was either Herron or Hackett. I think it was Denny Herron. That character on Cheers was based on Denny Herron because when he came to Montreal, he had a really good season. And I think when he left, didn't he? I think he went back to Pittsburgh. But yeah, that character was based on him. Yeah, I'm glad somebody else had him. That's great. I love Denny Herron.
It's awesome.
I loved him, and I loved his mask, and it was like him and Michel Larocque, and then him and Sevigny, I believe, and then he went back to Pittsburgh.
Didn't they get him? They had to play him in a game at the end of the season to get him onto the his name on the Vezina Trophy, or did they didn't win the cup? So I think that's what it was. They got him on the Vezina Trophy because he hadn't played enough games. I love Denny Herron. He was a good little goalie.
Yep.
Cool. I'm glad somebody else had him. Matt, who's your number 6?
So continuing the trend of goaltenders, I never really thought of him as much of a star. I don't know why. Rick knows him because Rick has his jersey, but I went with Cristobal Huet.
Yeah, I
loved him.
Yeah, I liked Huet.
Yeah, I mean, he put up pretty fine numbers with Montreal. I thought he's a pretty fine goaltender.
That answers my question.
I thought of putting him on mine, but I had 2 goalies already.
But yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, I kind of want a goalie, and I'm thinking of the goalies we had. I'm like, well, I can't put Theodore, I can't put Price, so I'm like, well, who else? And I went Cristobal Huet.
Yeah, Huet was a surprise to me. Like I never heard of the kid before, and then he was
loved him
good.
in LA.
Yeah,
he was.
And
good.
he ended up winning. I didn't even know this, but he ended up winning a Stanley Cup with the Blackhawks.
True, he did. That's right.
I didn't know that, but yeah,
I did know that.
His name may come up again later, so I'm going to save that fun fact for later.
All right.
Well,
Pete,
that makes 3 of us.
Who's your number 6, Pete?
The little bugger took my name.
Cristobal Huet?
Oh, that's cool. No, that's cool.
Well, here's a fun fact about
that's cool. I think
maybe
that's
further
fantastic.
up my list.
And you had them both at the same spot. I think that's awesome.
That's kind of funny.
Okay, so we can move on to mine then. I got a guy that's on. I think he might be on. He wasn't really a star. He might be but anyway, one of the Courtnall brothers, Russ Courtnall.
Russ, yes.
I like Russ Courtnall. I like
him in Costco all the time.
That might be the biggest steal as far as a trade that we traded Russ Courtnall for John Kordic, or we got Russ Courtnall for John Kordic. Think about that. That's how bad Toronto was at trading. But
Russ Courtnall almost made another list of mine.
He was he was fast. I like Courtnall. I wasn't happy when they traded him. I was upset when they traded him.
I was disappointed when they traded him away. Yeah. I really
Bye.
And you know what? That guy's his face, when you see I see him in Costco every now and again.
Oh yeah?
He still looks the same. Gray hair, but he still looks the same. He
very
lives
handsome
up,
young man. Very handsome young man.
Lives up in Bear Mountain.
Girls loved him. That's cool that you see him
they?
sometimes. That's really freaking cool. All right,
In
cool.
Costco. Oh, and he doesn't shop with the regular card. He shops with that big bag
Wow.
card.
He's Russ
Damn
Cardinal.
right he does.